Okay, so number 3 on the list, management team in execution of strategy. Let's dive into that.
Well, the manager is really the most important person in the entire team. They're the orchestrator, the conductor, right? So you live and die by the manager. But the reality is that most managers, you don't come out of the womb being a manager. And again, you only know what you know. So, if you've been groomed, if you've had the good fortune to work for some of the bigger organizations, like whether it be the Dardens, the Brinkers, the OSIs, the Landry's organization, they really have management development programs in place to kind of help groom a manager so he knows how to lead the organization. So the manager is critical in terms of creating the culture, living the culture,
Yes.
embracing the culture, and getting everyone on board to be able to be part of that experience. So, that manager is instilling values and so on, and it's important because then everybody's locked and loaded. Everybody's on the same page in terms of how we should be thinking about things. But the reality is that there's a lot of turnover in our industry. And because managers come and go, operators oftentimes think, well, the manager will create the training programs or the manager will do this. Well, again, the manager only knows what they know. It's hard to fix the bus and drive the bus at the same time. So if you don't have good protocols, systems, standards, organizational infrastructure, management tools to be able to guide the business, okay, what happens is the manager oftentimes can become nothing more than a glorified key holder and trying to keep the peace, a peacemaker, and trying to keep the restaurant staffed as opposed to really driving the business. So I use Hillstone as my best-in-class, experience. We're a fan.
They're based out of New York?
Actually, they're based out of Arizona.
Okay.
So they operate Gulfstream across the street, Bandera, Cherry Creek Grill, R&D Cafe. They don't have a big menu, but it's always great. No matter when you go, the time of the day, it's always the same. It's always a great experience. But they kill it on hospitality. It's like a well-oiled machine. It's just such a pleasure to go there because you always have a great experience because of the training.
So what do they do? What is it that they're doing?
Commitment to training. Okay, and there's a cost associated with training. And restaurants talk about training, but they don't know how to do it. So we've been developing these training programs for operators that will enable them, that are very affordable, that enable them to quickly train their team, okay, on the fundamentals of giving, providing excellent service. But if the manager doesn't have those tools in his quiver, okay, it's hard for them to hold people accountable because everything becomes tribal as opposed to here is how we train. This is how we greet the guest. This is how we merchandise. This is how we upsell. This is how we clear tables. This is how we smile.
Yeah.
This is our grooming. This is our look and feel that we're going for. So the management team, it's critical that everybody's on the same page too. So this is why you need to have structure so that when the manager is conducting his line check twice a day, or I'm sorry, his alley rally or his huddle up, sometimes it's called a pre-shift meeting, right? They're communicating what's important in the guest experience. So management and training are critical. If you want to drive sales, you have to train your people. If they don't know the food and they can't tell you the ingredients that are in a dish, or they don't know basic wine, how do you expect them to sell the wine? If they haven't tasted your food, every dish, over a period of some time of employment, that's a problem. How could they recommend a dish? But oftentimes training is one of those things that oftentimes gets, overlooked because they just think, well, they'll figure it out when they're on the job. Well, there's a huge difference between trying to figure it out on the job and properly training.
Yeah, we need to be empowered. And I want to pull back one more layer on this. We do have 5 more elements to cover, and I want to make sure we get it all in a respectful time.
Sure.
But can you give me the framework of what good management training looks like? Maybe just the elements without necessarily the deep description to respect the other 5 elements we have to hit.
Sure. Well, a manager should have a timeline in terms of what they should be doing from the time they walk in the door to when they leave. They should be always coaching, mentoring, and developing their people all the time.
1.
Okay. They need to be on the floor actually meeting and working with or communicating with their guests, really developing a personal relationship. That's critical. So that's number 2. And then 3, they should be managing their cost of goods and their labor daily. Okay, this is the restaurant business is like any other business. It's a financial model, and if you don't manage those prime operating expenses and really understand where you are, then you're flying a little bit blind, and it's hard to get to profitability.
Okay, that's 3. I'm going to make you recommend a tool that is best, in your opinion, these days to track those cost of goods and those numbers. What do you like out there?
Well, we've just started to embrace this company called Jolt.
Yes.
And Jolt does. They're really about scheduling, and we're really excited about working with them. We have a client that just signed up for them because you can upload all of your checklists, and so that a manager he doesn't have to run around with a bunch of pieces of paper, and it's cloud based. So we're a big fan of that.
Beautiful.
We're also a big fan of this new company we just discovered called the Expanshare.
Okay.
And
First time mentioned on the show.
Yeah, we're going to start developing content and uploading our management training program onto Expanshare. We're super excited about that because then it becomes a very affordable tool for restaurant operators to train their managers so they become what we call Synergy certified.
Beautiful.
They go through our training program. So that's a great tool.
Cool.
The other one that I'm really excited about that we just learned about just a few months ago, it's called Enjoy. And Enjoy is a gamification process where it helps the employees to become fully engaged in the training and development program. And the manager can see how the employees or the team is doing, if they're engaged or not engaged. And when they complete certain tasks, they get points. The more points they get different levels of rewards. And it allows the manager during the lineup or pre-shift meeting to talk about who's killing it and creating this kind of like this both camaraderie but competition amongst the team.
Read the book The Great Game of Business if you want to learn more about the power of gamification. It could be huge.
Yeah.